Welcome back, everybody, to day number 4 of Starladder China. I'm LDFV on the summit, and I am joined here by none other than Blaze. We'll be casting... Oh, actually, I gotta call him. Jeez. Forgot to call him. But yeah, I'll be joined here in a moment by Blaze. Yeah, it's gonna be HGT versus Invictus Gaming. We can take a very quick look at our groups here as the draft is nearly complete, and just see that HGT, they're 3-0, and Invictus Gaming 2-1. So looking in fantastic shape. And with that, Blaze, well, draft's nearly over, but we're gonna see a Drow Visage from Invictus Gaming. Exciting stuff. And
Victus Gaming, gonna go with all these flying heroes. No Vengeful Spirits allowed. Drow Ranger's gonna keep them grounded, but still, it's gonna be pretty interesting here, seeing all these ranged heroes and how much damage they're potentially gonna be able to do with the Drow. We've seen it, of course, from Cloud9. We've seen it a little bit from Goblak. I mean, there's obviously a lot of potential physical damage coming out of this lineup in general, but I'm curious how they're going to build the Drow, and if they're just going to really try to facilitate that precision aura as much as possible. But we'll see. Either way, Visage and Drow are probably going to be in the same tri-lane together with Skywrath, most likely. I mean, obviously they could go with a different hero, but that would put their lanes weird unless they go for the aggressive. So HGT, they're just going to go for something comparatively very standard. I mean, they've got global Stampede, they've got the global AALT, and otherwise they're just trying to win fights where they find them. Going in, getting a Blink Stomp, following it up with a Doom, and get a kill, get a push with the Mass Serpent Wards, and just get some good momentum in the game. But I really think that they need to get something that'll kill familiars off very easily. Otherwise, they're going to have a bad time. Razor was obviously taken out. Death Prop was taken out. So there are only so many options, but they're going to go with the PA here. And I guess that's a solid choice if they can get some gold, if they can get some momentum. But it doesn't just by itself deal with the threats that they're presented here.
yeah, and it's interesting to see a melee carry picked up against this much control. Like, you've got They do have Stampede, but Stampede only lasts 3 seconds. And these team fights are probably not going to be over in 3 seconds. So it's where HGT need to get good jumps to win the fights, to me. Like, they have to get a good Centaur initiation, a decent Blink Doom. Maybe someone gets caught by a Shaman Blink Hex if he's able to farm that, but if they don't get the jump on IG and they have to run in, they're just going to lose the fight. Like, they simply won't be able to stand against the right click that IG bring to the table, assuming a fairly even early to mid game. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm a little bit nervous for them, but at the same time, you can never count on a team with these jumpers. Like, whenever I see heroes like Doom, Void, Centaur, it's like all it takes is one good Blink initiation and the game completely turns. So that's what HGT will bank their draft on. And with that, we'll run through the lineups quickly. Invictus Gaming, they looked a little bit shaky yesterday, and we'll see if they can look they ended up, I think, taking the game, but it wasn't that convincing. You got Cheesebug on the Skywrath Mage. June will be playing your solo mid Viper. 430 on the Puck. Actually going to be going safe lane, potentially. Oh, no, I guess they're running a dual lane here. We'll have Chuan on the Visage and Luo on the carry Drow. He was playing support yesterday, but I think they've put Chuan back on the support role. So they experimented with the Chuan Void. That did not work out, and it seems that it was only an experiment.
We're going to see the ward that Cheesebug plays immediately dewarded here. They very clearly saw him moving in that direction. That's going to make it more difficult for their offlane status, for Ferrari to be survivable in this offlane. He's going to go for a Ring of Protection start, and that'll give him a little bit of durability, but I don't know. I guess he's just going to look for that early Bassi under tower and try to survive. But it's going to be difficult without vision, and these supports do have some real kill potential with the Shadow Shaman long duration shackles, maybe with the cold feet on top of that, and either way, a lot of right click damage going his way. But yeah, we're going to get into it, and it really comes down to how this Drow performs in the early game. A Drow is a very tempo oriented hero. Once he hits marksmanship 1 and 2, those are the time frames where you really start pushing hard, and you try to take advantage of the fact that the familiars and all of your heroes do such great damage. But like I was saying, there's no great way to take down the familiars now. Actually, I see getting a nice D-ward. You usually don't see a Sentry Ward drop down for the offlaner, but he actually takes out a lane ward with this. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, that was an insta D-ward. Like, that ward was just placed, and he was ready for that one. Also found an Illusion Rune. This will pose a bit of a nuisance to Chuan, as obviously Visage, one of those supports that needs his levels, more so than others. And, well, the first pull, the first potential pull is denied, and they've actually got Kaka with the aggressive jungle on the Doom. So, trying to take advantage of these dual lanes from IG, and well, it seems like they'll be able to, at least for now. And top lane, they're running a Shaman as the farmer here, it looks like.
Well, I mean, one of them has to take it one way or another, but the Blink Dagger is probably better on Pretty Hot. Like you said, they want to get the jump. They want to try to close distance on the Drow Ranger. They kill her, they take her aura out of the picture, and that's going to be a huge way that they can take these fights. So I think ZSMJ as well as Pretty Hot want to kind of put their strategy on getting in melee range of that Drow, bring her down very quickly, and then following that up with pretty much a slaughter. Because without the Drow aura, IG's lineup is pretty dysfunctional. Like, they could do some good magic damage here and there. They'll get a kill or two in a full 5-on-5, but it's really the Drow aura that allows them to actually have the early potential. Either way, for right now, they do have a lot of right-click damage. Actually, Frost Arrows and Chilling Touch going on Icy. He's not going to go down here, but he will take some big hits. And yeah, Luo just being able to put 1 point in that Precision Aura will help out.
They're going back in. They want a first blood here. They're going to settle on the Drow, blocking him off with Kaka. Nicely done. This will set up a stomp. The double edge will follow this up. This is going to be your first blood. Not even needing the double edge.
It's actually good not to double edge here, otherwise the Soul Assumption will immediately kill off Icy. So, yeah, they were very conservative about that, and that was made sure that it wasn't a 1-for-1, which is great.
Doom is just such a ridiculous hero. Like, it's obviously we've seen Doom strength in the late game, but to be able to run in and just immediately set up a kill like that is, man, what a hero.
What do you think about this Orb of Venom start for him?
He wants to be aggressive, right? And I think that's the right play here. As you mentioned, Drow is tempo-oriented, but if you shut her down early, then she's really not that scary. So I guess this is just a cue that Kaka is going to keep the aggression up. And he's got a War Stomp now. Yeah. Oh, man, this could easily be another death or two on the bottom lane. Yeah,
it does cost a lot of mana, though. That's worth mentioning. 100 mana is his entire, like, half of his mana pool. I'd actually almost like to see him pick up the Ghost that's spawned in the Pole Camp. For the Radiant side, if he does that, it stacks with the Orb of Venom slow, and the target of choice is not going anywhere. It's actually pretty insane.
Yeah, well, for now that he's got the mana, he benched to pick up a regen rune, follows up with a Stomp onto June, and the chase is on, but Viper, not the easiest kill. They'll need good body blocking here. A supplementary dagger. June sticking and trying to survive through this. Won't be able to do so. Hyper Glory team off to a fantastic start here on the back of the jungle Doom.
Yeah, up top.
Meanwhile, up top, they'll jump in. They kill off the Shadow Shaman, and 430 forced into the trees. He'll be the trade as S dukes it out with Cheesebug. Does he have another nuke? Doesn't have anything more to follow this up. So a 1-for-1 exchange there, and an okay trade overall.
Yeah, nice to keep the puck on lockdown in general, though. Ferrari's going to TP up with his boots, with his Bassi. Really wants to just kind of start ramping up, but it's going to be actually like very back and forth for this lane until the Drow hits 6. When the Drow hits 6, all the range heroes in general are going to be at a severe advantage when it comes down to their raw right-click damage. But for now, they kind of need to tank up. They need to just survive and weather that short-duration storm. Either way, Luo, he's going to go for 2 in the Frost Arrows. And we've seen this build pretty frequently from Illidan when he plays the Drow for the side of NVMI. What he goes for is 1 point in Precision Aura at level 1, 2 in Frost Arrows the next 2 levels, and then he starts maxing Precision Aura so that he can have at level 7 when he gets the marksmanship.
I've seen a lot of games where the players just flat out max the arrows first, the Frost Arrows.
Yeah,
I've seen
good.
Envy do it a few times too. Bottom lane, going on to Icy. They'll slow him down here. It's decent harassment, but not really enough to do much more. And now the double damager, and he's got Stomp ready. Oh, Luo's going to die again. Stomped out number 1, Stomp number 2, coming in a few moments' time. No, they'll just double edge for that. And now they're going to die further. Chuan's going to fall to this as well. This jungle Doom has set up 4 kills for his team. 1 mid, 3 bottom. Meanwhile, top lane, they've killed off the Shadow Shaman, but oh, it's just not good enough. This Drow is the linchpin of the IG squad, and right now she's crumbling.
It's interesting because Kaka, in general, like when I see him in a farming role, I honestly think that he has a reduced map sense by comparison to most players. But here he's been really aware of when he gets these opportunities to gank, and obviously the lack of wards on IG's side just completely shut them down. They're completely in the dark. They don't know when this Doom is coming in. Now they place 1 ward down, but that's just going to give June the opportunity to go here onto Kaka, and I think they are going to be able to bring him down.
I don't know about that. Only a level 1 poison attack. He probably would have made it out anyway, but with the Centaur Stampede, it'll be absolutely fine. And it does at least keep the Drow safe a bit. So she'll have a minute and a half or so where they're unlikely to jump her. But meanwhile, mid lane, they don't need Stampede to go in here. They've got the ZSMJ Dagger to initiate on June, and they wrap around. Unfortunately, Chuan, for his sake, he'll be the one to reveal this. Now Shackles from Pretty Hall holding him in place while Kaka tries with a Cloudy Potion to get mana for a stomp, but won't end up needing it. The Dagger comes in, and he gets the kill as well. This Doom is 1,300 gold, Tranquil Boots online, almost level 6, and he's now been involved in 5 kills for his team out of 6.
That is absolutely absurd. Just being able to move about the map. Actually, for some reason, I was thinking of the old Tranquil Boots where they break so damn easy and that you get the like 25 movement speed instead of not even the basic 50 from Brown Boots. But yeah, no, he has been all over the map now, picking up the Alpha Wolf. He's going to get the bonus damage from the pack leaders or a potential crit. So he's kind of walking around with the percent-based DD rune right there. We do see the haste rune is going to be covered up, so ZSMJ can bottle sip for Icy and then pick that up for himself. Doesn't really need mana too much, as the Stifling Dagger is only 15.
Smoke from 430, looking to jump in top lane. He's got a coil on two. Asphalt Turret gets off the chilling touch at the very least, but the question is if they can follow this one up. 430 gets caught, held in position by the Cold Feet, as ZSMJ arrives, wants to finish him off, gets the kill. He's probably fighting Cheesebug with a haste rune. There's no chance Cheesebug makes it out of here. Just one dagger, he'll be toast. Just one crit, he jukes like a champ, but ZSMJ's got haste, and now he's out of options, and there you go. Double kill in the end. It's a 2 for 2, jukes, but they're feeding the PA.
Yeah, I mean, PA and Doom are the heroes that you don't want to get that much momentum in this laning stage. You want to just enable your drown. Luo will actually hit 6.
He's going in on June. He just dives directly onto the Viper. The haste is worn out, but they've Stampede to fight through this. If Pretty Hell gets off the shackle, a Hex, this will be June going down. But can they get out? Yeah, he's probably dead anyway. ZSMJ, one more dagger, 1 second. He might get fogged, though. June, one more auto attack. Might be enough to kill him off. Doesn't get the vision. Force back. Now has support has arrived. Scarlet Angel, he walks into it. He walks out of it. He ends up living. Now the stop on the Cheesebug. HGT, once again, barely surviving and finding kill after kill after kill. Oh my goodness. What a bloodbath.
You're just putting them through the ringer right now. Like, all these plays, they are completely outplaying IG.
I still remember, Blaze, when this team was Hearts Get Together, and they were terrible. They were... The only team that was worse than them was the... Was it the second Tong Fu team? I think it was... Yeah, it was Team Adidas, who later became Tong Fu and Zhou. Like, they played the first season of WPCAs, and they lost. Tong Fu and Zhou lost every single game. This team did slightly better. The old HGT, they won, like, 1 game in a BO2 or something. Something like ridiculous like that. And now, if you told me back then that they would be crushing IG... I wouldn't have believed it. Now, obviously, still some comeback here with the Drow and the 5 ranged heroes, but this is going to be tough for IG to claw their way back in from here.
Yeah, they're going to need something soon. He actually is going to go for that Frost Arrow build that you were talking about, and actually at one point in Silence, too, so he's going to be able to knock back the Centaur. But the strength of the Frost Arrows really is just locking the target down. The thing is, I don't really like it against Stampede in general, because you already have a slow from the Grave Chill, you're going to have the control from the Viper, and a little bit from the Dream Coil of the Puck. I really don't feel that the movement reduction is going to be that detrimental unless he's going for a lot of 1v1, 2v2 play.
Pretty Hall down in the river. He gets off a Hex to start this. Could have dropped the wards, but did have enough mana for everything. And now ZSMJ gets silence. Can they really chase on him? They're going to try for this. They have Mystic Flare, but ZSMJ takes a decent chunk of damage, manages to retreat out. Now Centaur arrives, and they'll just jump on the Scarlet. They'll stomp him. He'll go down. Probably the only kill, although they do chase 430. They actually have Doom ready, but he orbs, and he barely makes it out with the well-timed jaunt. They still pursue, though. Oh. No, not able to get in range. And the turn may come as June rotates in. 430, though, is no coil. So tough for them to get in range to start this. They even brought in Chuan. Can he get in range for anything? No, it doesn't look like it.
And meanwhile, we're going to see this kind of, like, position 1? I don't really know what to call it. Ancient Apparition, but... Yeah, he's farming up on the top lane. He's going to get Aghanim Scepter at a decent pace. He's going to get his Ice Blast up already. They're going to take the tower with the Master Serpent Wards, and with the rotations to the mid and the bottom, there's not much that they can do to respond. I mean, at the very least, it's going to go down to 20%, and probably going to go down.
Ice Blast being thrown towards the bottom lane while Puck tries to hold the line top. The wards probably not going to finish the tower here, but will bring it dangerously close. Ice Blast connecting and slowing down the aggression. Meanwhile, the backstep from Kaka. He has Doom, but can't find anyone to use it on. They're all so damn elusive here on IG. But he'll get the last hit on the tower. Has a Midas up now, another 900 gold. His Blake's coming soon. Centaur's already got his, and this is Trouble Town for IG.
This is really insane. The amount of momentum they've built at this early game, I mean, against this lineup in particular, is so strong because IG aren't a team-fight oriented lineup. Actually, we're going to see the Gus come through, stopping the Centaur Stomp. He's shifting the blink, though. He's still in pursuit.
Oh, this is the death of Luo. He's got nothing left now. Stampede, slow him down, stomp him up. Double edges there. Easy kill. And the Drow feed continues. It's really not to criticize Luo too much at all. It's just kind of the nature of the hero. If you have a bad start against these jumpers, like, you're just going to feed. There's really nothing you can do about it, except just never be visible in a lane, I guess.
Yeah. The Frost Arrows are just not really that great against Stampede. He's going to need like a Blink or a Force Staff himself to try to disengage, and it's just going to be so damn difficult. It's going to put him even further behind from his intended item progression, and it goes from bad to worse from this point forward. Like, you can't prevent these deaths in any easy capacity. He's going for a Midas, too. Luo is going for a Hand of Midas in this situation where he's already died 3 times.
They might need it, honestly, man. Like, if they're gonna turn this game around, this Drow has to get really big, and she's not gonna get really big just with treads and stacky wraith bands. So I guess IG are just saying, you know what? We'll just we have to build up our economy, and although we'll be a little weaker now, we just have to pray to the gods that HGT take a stupid fight and we can turn from there.
Yeah.
But it obviously puts them in a weakened position right now. No backup on Viper, even without the treads being built. He still hasn't completed it yet. And well, they do have the familiars. That's the one thing going their way. This may be a signal that Luo's just going to jungle from here on out, honestly. They get the Midas and just, as I was kind of teasing about, just never be in the lane. Top lane, jump onto S. 430 gets the tower, phase shifting, will kill off S, but probably going down to Kakao. The creeps are blocking him, and so he says, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to blow Doom here to secure that kill. Don't want to risk 430 sneaking out. He bought his blink, though.
Yeah, didn't lose any gold there. They're going to Mass Serpent Ward in the pit here. They have Centaur to tank it up, but he's only got the Tranquil Boots to give him a little bit of extra armor in terms of durability. A lot of disables, but they need someone else. They need the PA to get in this pit, and there ZSMJ goes. He's got some evasion. He's going to be able to take a few shots here, and this is going to enable them to get a very nice, clean Roche without IG having any chance to contest.
Drow Midas online. It's and also carrying the mech recipe for this Viper. It's their secondary courier when the courier's busy returning from the bottom lane. It's a cute tactic by them. Still the Aegis now onto HGT. Gold and experience aren't that bad, all things considered, for IG, but that's with actually, yeah, 2-for-1 tower advantage favoring IG. So if you factor in the tower, then I guess HGT actually have the slight lead.
Yeah, it's surprising the kills are so low value right now, but I mean, a couple big things are how IG are spending their gold when they do die, and that's like Puck, for example, didn't lose a single drop of gold when he got dropped down the top lane after last hitting the tower because of a great blink purchase, but Ice Blast will connect onto, no, not Cheesebug.
Barely able to escape out of that. Now ZSMJ will lose his Aegis to the engage. Blink stop, that finds Luo and June, but where's the follow-up for this? They have to quickly burst heroes down, and without Doom, they just can't go in, so they blow the Aegis for naught. And IG are feeling a little bit stronger now. This is the power of the Drow with 5 ranged. If you don't instantly kill someone, the fight goes to shit. And without Doom ready, they couldn't blow anyone up. Meanwhile, 430's waiting. He's got his Blink Coil ready. This could be a big one. He can jump in right now. He silences 2 on the backline, but Doom still gets off his ult. It's only on the Scarith Mage, though. Not the ideal target, and now the right-clicking begins. They'll lose Icy. They'll lose 2 more. Kaka, the 3rd to fall. The Drow Visage works its magic. Dooming Skywrath is not going to cut it. They got to get someone more important.
Ice Splash will come through, but it's not going to. It's going to just debuff Chuan, so that's not going to be enough here. For those that don't really understand why Drow Visage is so powerful, I've had this question asked of me a lot, but essentially the familiars have a charge system where the more auto attacks they do, the less damage they do, down to a base of 10. And although they have a very low base attack time of 0.4 seconds per attack, which is like
ridiculous,
2.5 per second.
Yeah.
It's it's lackluster when it's only 10. So the big thing here is right now Drow is giving them plus 28 just from the Drow aura alone, and that's before she maxes out her aura or gets any agi items. So later on, that damage is going to be amplified, like I guess you could say times 5 with 2 familiars and times 7.5 with 3 familiars, and Chuan's going to be going for this Aghanim Scepter. So there's a lot of physical damage coming out from these guys, and the only thing that really kills them off easily is the return damage from the Centaur. So as long as they don't focus him too much, they have to right-click them down manually, and that is going to be painful.
And it's tough when you have three melee heroes and 2 range that don't really right-click much. As the jump in onto ZSMJ happens mid 430, though. Didn't have enough to kill him off, but he's rotating around behind the tower with Precision R and a double damager, and he feels confident to go in aggressively. No silence, so he gets caught by a stomp, and 430 overextends, trying too hard to make plays for his team, and ends up giving up a kill.
So they're going to go for the push down bottom here. Of course, a lot of physical damage, have the mechanism available, but that Ice Blast is just so damn scary right now. If S hits on a couple heroes, it could be an easy Stampede or Blink Initiation for Centaur, and that's going to be people popping. But they're just going to go for the aggression on their own front. They're going to try to take the fight here in the mid. And if they get this tower, this is going to be the BKB for ZSMJ.
IG, do they look to defend this? They glyph. I think they want to. 430 is respawning soon. The familiars are currently flanking as they rotate through the middle of the map. Now backing off now as they see the retreat happen for HGT. Radiant Observer Ward, nicely placed, does spot that out. An Ice Blast will fly bottom lane. Oh, this is looking bad for Chuan. So much for that quick and timely Axe. Blake, stop, double edge, and yeah, he's done for. The familiars might chip Icy down a bit, but they're not going to be enough to kill him off.
I'm kind of not surprised that he waited so long to stun, but nevertheless, yeah, he will be going down that Ice Blast. Double Edge, it's a great combo of damage sources, even on somebody with Gravekeeper's Cloak, and right now he's only got like 3% resistance per layer, so it's not that big of a deal. Later on, he'll be a little more tanky, but against that kind of front-loaded burst damage. But as it stands, he just falls by the wayside, and now it's actually
430. He used everything to jump in here, but there's no retaliation from Doom. Even at the ult ready, but his teammate's just a bit too far away. No Stampede to getting close. Who's now gone back for a Centaur creep. So he's got the Stomp. This gives them an additional Centaur initiation, basically. Double the Centaur, double the fun. Suns fan would be proud. And IG pushing the bottom lane. Luo and Tron are grouping up, and the rest of the team arrives. Mech, already out on June, is working now towards a BKB. Maybe an Eggs, but I'm thinking it'll be a BKB. And IG will begin the siege. Do HGT retaliate? No Stampede for 30. IG playing around these timings. And it seems like they will back off. But they did a lot of damage to the tower.
And they'll be able to continue to do so. Visage has his resummon available, the two familiars stone forming and getting their charges back. But the big deal here is ZSMJ has picked up his BKB, so he doesn't have to be afraid of the Puck or the Skywrath in any capacity. And there's a lot of kill potential for him. He's not going to be able to pin down a hasted Puck or anything like that, but when it comes down to closing distance on Drow or on Skywrath, those are going to be some pretty quick kills. And because essentially the 50% evasion enables him to avoid or mitigate half the damage he receives from physical auto attacks, he is going to be able to tank all this physical damage for the most part. I mean, the magic damage on top, it's too much to bear, but if he's only taking right clicks, I think he can manage.
Yeah, and there's no MKBs here on IG, so that evasion will really add up. IG hiding behind their towers. HGT wraps around. So they look to jump in here. They have placed an Observer Ward, and they get a little bit of vision. They spotted out June. They don't see the rest of the team. And as they probably surmise, the rest of IG is waiting, because they haven't jumped in yet. And no, they will look for it. They'll dagger, they'll stomp, double edge follow-up. Still, Doom is waiting for the right time to go in. I think he wants this Drow. They'll shatter June quickly with the Ice Blast. And now, Luo, really in an awkward position. Their team not getting the bonus damage as ZSMJ walks forward, but then they'll back off. Mystic Flare thrown out. They'll kill off the Ancient Apparition and Shaman as the trade. Buying back on the Viper. 430 dodges the Centaur stun. Where is that Doom? He's just not using it in the fight. And now Kakai retreats, but you really got to Doom somebody, man. Now he might go down for nothing. Blinking to the south, tries to TP out. Familiar stuns, not in range. And still cooling down.
Yeah, so, I mean, they didn't expect that full retaliation. Like, they were being a little bit patient about it, but they really did think that they were going to be able to get a nice, clean window of opportunity where maybe there were some TPs coming in, but there weren't the entire team waiting behind the tower, waiting in the fog. So, unfortunately, HGT does lose out on some momentum here, and Drow Ranger is now level 11. This push is going to be huge. Even with the Ice Blast, they can just destroy this tower in about 2 seconds' time.
Yeah, tower's down, and IG once again finding their footing in this game. And it does get to the point where HGT just need a better initiation. Like, they'd really love to get 2-3 heroes with a Stomp, not just the tankiest one in the Viper. And they want to kill that hero quickly. Not to mention find someone to Doom. And I guess the BKB for Kako will help that, though he's about to get caught mid. Blink Coil was actually not available, just had the silence ready, but went for the blink in silence, and he'll retreat out in time. Still needs to finish the BKB, though, and he'll slow down a bit after that explosive start. Looking for Luo top lane, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have that much solo kill potential against him, though. Like, he has to be like on top of him the whole duration, and they're going to be able to at least TP, and if not mech him, then at least force the Doom away. But we're going to see item progression towards the Aghanim Scepter, of course, for Chuan, but a couple other items that I think they really could find value in would be a Sheepstick for Ferrari. He's going to be making his way there, and that will be huge against the PA, trying to prevent that evasion, muting it with the Hex. And then the other one being just a simple Medallion. It's an item we see very frequently on Visage, but Chuan's so hungry for that third familiar that he might forget to go back for it, and that's really important to get that negative armor on a hero like Doom, who's already lacking substantially.
This looks bad for HGT. Pretty Hall about to get caught out. Two other heroes could be caught in the crossfire too, as IG actually missed the opening. They head up into the lane right as they would have run by HGT had they continued just directly through the jungle. Now retreating through the trees, and 430 scouting on the far western edge of the map, but can't find anyone. Meanwhile, bottom lane, CSMJ is a haste, and he's just going to take a free tower here. There's actually a glyph, but they're not in position to defend it, and IG, well, they give up a freebie, and that will get the Doom very close to his BKB. Meanwhile, mid lane, the ward's dropped. Ward's dropped. Now the Blink silence of Pretty Hall, but he's double stomp. All of it just for the Scarlet Mage. And they already got the wards on the tower, so even if they manage to kill Pretty Hall, it's not the biggest deal. They'll stampede and try and get him out safely as they focus more on 430. Double edge. They need the Doom. 430 might actually end up getting out of here. He orbs north, and he'll make it. Blink cooling down. Oh, Jesus Christ. They just want to kill him. They'll even Doom for it. Kaka, you can tell, is just frustrated. Like, 430 has been such a thorn in his side. As the blanket comes from ZSMJ, BKB is there, but the nice Viper Strike prevents further initiation. Ice Blast does connect. This is going to bring Chuan close, but probably not quite into deny range. It is only a level 1 Ice Blast, and, yeah, not going to kill him off. And he's got his X.
So in this position, they have to look to Roche again pretty soon. They have to try to get a second life up on this PA because one might not be enough. With all these birds chipping away at him, it's going to be, even with the evasion, it's still a ton of damage flying out. I think Chuan actually wants to... What did he just resummon now, or does he have 3 birds? No, just the 2 familiars. So he wants to wait for his level 11 and get the big resummon out with level 2 birds times 3, and I think that'll be when they really have the potential to push out all these other tier 2s. But at least for now, there's a small window where HGT actually can kind of take back control of the map, maybe take Roche, but for now it's actually wandering into the enemy jungle.
Doom has a bit of vision here, and he jumps towards Cheesebug. This Dire Observer Ward did scout him out, but wasn't able to get in close enough for any sort of follow-up. And of course didn't have Doom there, since he had to blow it earlier to kill off 430. So we'll now see 430 pushing out the mid lane familiars, just getting their charges back towards the southern ruin. And HGT, just didn't... The biggest concern for me is this is a lineup that wants to be jumping you and forcing the fights and chasing you down, and they are really not confident to engage right now, sitting quite far back. It's IG with the good wards, it's IG with the aggressive movements. The roles are really reversed from how it should be if HGT are winning the game. And IG will push in now. They'll bring everybody in. Familiars hiding in the tree line. Chuan about to join the rest of his team, and still they wait for a good opening. They have the Ice Blast. It's only level 1 though, not particularly fearsome. They'll just try and push IG a bit farther back with the casual Ice Vortex, but no real engagement here. As the familiars stomp down again. So HGT hang on to their tower, but not before taking huge chunks of damage on it and just forfeiting that HP for free. Of course, towers don't heal, so that is permanent damage unless you got a tree.
Now, they've committed to the BKB on the Doom as well. I'm not so sure how I feel about this one. I think the PA definitely needed it, but the Doom here, his job is to tank a lot of magic nukes. He's trying to kind of be on the front line there and be involved, but in this position, he's just going to be shredded towards the tail end of the fight. They can kind of ignore him for the first bit, they let him get the Doom off, and then they can just absolutely demolish him with the physical right clicks after the fact. But at least for now, they're going to take that Roche, as mentioned. The familiar's coming in just a little bit too late to try to snipe anything, so it is going to be another Aegis for the Phantom Assassin.
And with the Aegis, the last time we saw it, it was very ineffective. So I'm curious to see if ZSMJ can get more done with this one. He'll bottle up an Invis Rune here, it looks like. Actually, they'll give it to the Doom. They'll pass the bottle over, and after using it, they'll be giving it back, so... I'm wondering what ZSMJ is going for. I'm feeling like this may be a Linked Sphere. Just to deal with the Viper Strikes. As soon as he gets Viper Strike, the fight's just over for ZSMJ.
Interesting. So you don't think it's the Battle Fury that we very commonly see on the hero?
Well,
the Linked Sphere does have merits.
It's 5 ranged heroes, right? Like, how many... Yeah. You're not going to be cleaving anyone, I don't think.
Sure. It might just... like, that's... I was just kind of thinking farming mentality. ZSMJ is really renowned for his CS, but all the same, I think the Lincolns is actually not too bad of an option either. So we'll have to see what he goes for. Both of them have different reasons to pick them up, but one for combat, one for farming. Depends on how late they want this game to go.
I'm not sure how confident I feel taking this late. Like, you get to that point where Viper can't be burst down when you jump him, which will happen when he gets a BKB and one more item. If Drow Ranger is a little bit more farm beyond her BKB, picks up some survivability, then, like, I don't know what you do at that point. your BKB for ZSMJ is quickly going down in duration, down to 8 seconds. You fast forward 5 minutes, this will probably be a 4-second, or getting close to a 4-second BKB, I should say. At which point, yeah, I don't know. Do you really want to be taking this late? You do have Doom. You've got the one hero that can just win any game, even an ultra late game. But Kaka's farm is... It was explosive, and for a jungle Doom, it's amazing, but it's not like that free farm, explosive, safe lane farming Doom, where you could see him like already having picked up a Shiva's Guard at this point.
Yeah. I think that their biggest fear, the longer the game goes along, is just to pick off from the Ferrari blink hack. So he's going to be picking that up pretty soon, and when he does, then there's going to be so many windows of opportunity where if ZSMJ hesitates for just a second on the BKB, he's just going to be torn apart, and they have to be extremely cautious about that. The Stampede is a good bailout tool, and I think they're going to get a Force Staff pretty soon, or not just yet, but it should be on the list for pretty hot after his Blink Dagger. But it's going to be the Battle Fury here, so late game it is.
Well, like you said, ZSMJ certainly renowned for its farming ability. As, well, it used to be when couriers died in Dota 2, their items would drop on the ground, and he once lost a Sacred Relic, and then refarmed it in, what was it? It was like 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was 5 or 6, but, I mean, it was just absolutely absurd, the amount he was able to accomplish. I mean, it was already a fast Relic, but to just not even flinch when that happened and just rebound off of it, legendary.
And this was before, like, the farming efficiency that we now see in Dota 2, and that we saw towards the end of Dota 1, where teams really they're very polished about their jungle stacking, their rotations with the supports. Back then, not to say the support players were bad, but, you know, we look back on it with rose-tinted glasses and say, oh man, that player was so good back then. But you compare, like, a top support player then to a top support player now, and it's a cavernous gap. Even for the players that were around back then, they've improved so much over the past, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a while since that particular game.
Most definitely. So I was kind of as hesitant as you were about the Battle Fury. I thought it was a nice option, but I wasn't sure how it would work out. But he's just cleared out like 4 Ancient stacks, maybe 5. So jumping up from just now purchasing the Battle Fury to 2,000 gold on top of that seems to have almost paid for itself already.
Yeah, he's got the Ultimate Orb at least if he wanted to go back for Liquid Spheres. 430 went in, but he went into the entirety of HGT. I thought he was about to retreat out, but man, he's uncharacteristically been over-aggressive this game. Twice 430 now. Picked off where it was an easily avoidable death, but just decided to try to make a big play for his team, and once again pays. Pays for the play. Now, look, try and punish this 430 death a bit. He does have buyback available, though, and that's something HGT will have to be cautious about. But they do have the level 2 Shaman Ward, so if they want to play it safe, they could just drop them at the tower and retreat. We'll see if they go for that. No PA here, though. No Aegis carry, so that's 2 lives they're missing out of the 6 they have at their disposal.
And Luo has a BKB 10 and a TP. As soon as he clears out the bottom wave, he's going to immediately TP top. They've got 2 fresh 10-second BKBs to take this fight with. So at best, they can disengage with the Stampede. At worst, they get caught out hardcore. So I think it is better for them to back off.
CSMJ already farmed a Basher. All right, I guess the Battle Fury was the right choice, man. Jesus.
Yeah, if that stack hadn't been so huge already, if the Dire Ancient stack hadn't been like a 4 stack right when he picked up the Battle Fury, maybe it would have taken too long for it to really accomplish too much. But here, yeah, it is absolutely insane.
He's still got to be very worried about the Viper. But the good news is June doesn't have multiple Viper strikes yet because he's only got a BKB. He didn't go for an early egg, so I suppose with that, you just live through the 1 Viper strike, you come back, and then you're pretty close to Immortal with your BKB. Let's see. IG defending for now. They have their 3 familiars ready, but the wards are keeping them off the fight. And a crit from ZSMJ, showcasing his potential. We'll get an 1100 damage one nearly. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Luo split pushing for this. The wraparound comes now from the Doom. BKB
nice
from Luo.
BKB.
Still getting right-clicked and slowly chick down here. His auto attack's fairly underwhelming, and he's going to end up going down just in a straight man fight, it looks like. Try to retreat out, but it's not going to happen.
No.
Munched for good measure by Kaka. That universal damage, man.
Yeah, that's a really nice buff to the ability in general. The BKB actually only nullifies the Scorched Earth there. The Shiva's Guard wasn't up just yet. Doom will be picking up shortly, and then that's an extra 250 damage that he could nullify. But until then, we actually see Ancient Apparition getting the pick off on the puck. GSMJ sniping him, jumping in on top of him, and critting him down with the Ice Blast on top.
IG are very strong when they're 5, and they are very weak when they're spread out. Like, Doom could solo kill pretty much anyone on this team. Maybe the Viper he'd struggle against if he got off his BKB and mech before the Doom. I don't know, but outside of him, they're all easy food for the Doom. The Centaur jump plus Ancient Apparitional. The PA jump plus Ancient Apparitional. They gotta stick his 5 as much as possible. It's only really the familiars that I could see going off on their own for IG safely.
Yeah. It's a shame the Dire don't have a bottle right now because there's actually a double damage rune for ZSMJ. That's absolutely immense, but they're not actually going to find a fight in the meantime. Like, he's just going to use it to farm, which is fine, but if they were actually able to just grab a bottle, hold that on ZSMJ, and he's able to go into the fight with an 8-second BKB and a double damage rune, like, that's a game-winning rune right there. But all the same, it's perfectly fine for him just to keep farming away and look for that 6th slot.
Well, Satanic maybe his next choice here with the Helm of the Dominator picked up. Could go back for an Abyssal as well, but I think his main goal in these fights is just surviving as long as possible. One good crit's all it takes, and hey, if you have a Satanic and an Aegis in the next fight, then you're probably going to be able to get off at least 3 or 4 Blink Strikes, and no matter how slow you are, you'll get one swing, and if that one swing's a crit, fight's probably going your way. So, might be a Satanic that we look for next.
We get the Hex. That's huge. This is their opening to take down ZSMJ. He's become a monster in the past few minutes when he's just been farming constantly, but this Hex has given them some hope here of bringing him down. Like you said, S5, they're very strong. Their damage output here could be amazing, and without Blur, I mean, it's just a 1600 HP, 19 armor hero. I mean, it's still very killable, but with Blur, it's just a little bit too much, and they have to be precise about when they pop the Scythe with regard to ZSMJ and his BKB.
Yeah, for now the Ancient spawn will happen, and it looks like they're just going to focus on continuing to farm up. They do have a Doom, and he has gone Midas. They have a PA with Battle Fury. Economy-wise, HGT may be able to just pull too far ahead for IG to come back, given that IG can't be off on their own split pushing. We saw what happens when they do. 430 gets picked off. Luo gets assassinated easily as well. Just one hero needed to get that kill. So instead they're going to smoke. They're going to try to use this Hex to make something happen. But HGT are in good position to reveal this one. And the smoke wears off. Right as they look to jump in.
Wow.
BKB popped by the Doom. Jumping directly on Luo. And now he's doomed. So his team won't get the bonus damage. And without it, I don't know if they can fight. He's trapped in the Roche pit. Roche and Doom both combining to smack him down. As ZSMJ arrives, they'll get the 3rd kill. IG getting absolutely run over by HGT. Then they jump forward and it's yet another kill. 4 down. And they'll take the Roche as well.
I think that's probably the 2 worst heroes to be caught in a man fight with. The Roshan and the Doombringer. Like, just staring at that. Just a little tiny Zeus or something. I can't imagine that being like a... You can imagine Dota with the virtual reality that they're working on.
I would be pretty terrified, man. I'm not going to lie. If the big boy's beating you and you're a little drow and you're doomed, that can't be fun. Flames licking your heels at every step. You know, they're going to jump in mid again. Ancient Apparitional. Oh, just missed. Cheese bug. Could have been another kill. Well, now late game is looking very, very strong for HGT with that fight. They've almost got Abyssal Blade if ZSMJ wants that. If he wants to go straight for the Satanic, he's closing in on that as well. And they're getting to that point, Blaze, where if your Doom gets a refresher next, he's got 3,200 gold. How do you win the fight from there if you're IG?
Yeah, it's Hex or bust. They have to find pickoffs. They can't actually go for like a full fight against double ZSMJ. It's just too much. But he's happy to just keep farming away. They have to kind of respond to his movements very carefully. They can't go to where he's farming now. They have to go to where they think he's going to be farming next, because otherwise he's already going to be on to the next camp. He's going to be on to the next location. And it's just the mobility of this hero with Phantom Strike, with the Daytime Vision, and with the Battle Fury. He can just keep doing his thing, even using his allies. Oh, they tried it, but they won't get the connection up the cliff.
Well, in the meantime, the push for mid from IG. Clearing out the wave, but still not very confident to engage. But Kaka is. He's a Viz. He's fun low. This is probably another kill. Yeah, Doom, Stomp, and dead. Stampede will follow this up. There will be a little bit of backup arriving. He's definitely going down. The question is if his team can get a trade. Doom taking him incredibly low. Incredibly low. Close, close. Deny, deny, deny.
Oh, come on.
No deny? Really? Okay. Well, now they might pay for it in more ways as Cheesebug gets caught out by the Centaur, but doesn't have a Stampede to get in. Like, we'll get the Doom kill at the very least. Centaur moving forward, stomping. Nope. Stomp. Looking for the stomp. Still hasn't found the good opening. CSFJ's here. Oh boy. Basher #1. Connects there and looks for more. He crits 430. Insta-gives him. It's 4 down. It's going to be a wipe. It's just all over for IG in these fights. GG. They knew it.
Jeez, man, that PA. ZSMJ Dota right there, just farming it up. They messed up rewards, victory in the lane. They'll take out the familiars. Screw those birds. But yeah, that was just a really great display from HGT. I gotta say, it's a space creation from Doom.
Kaka won them the game. Kaka won them the game.
Yeah.
That was 100% all Kaka. He won mid. He won the bottom lane so hard that it was absolutely absurd. And he was really relevant late game. Like, he almost had Refresher when this game ended. In fact, he might have had the gold for it. What a performance. You mentioned his map awareness being lacking in other games, but that's the beauty of being a jungler. So when you're a jungler, it's very easy to have good map awareness, because you don't have to worry about last hit in lane. No one's stealing your neutral creeps generally, and you can just focus on looking at the mini-map and looking to set up kills. So Kaka delivers, and HGT take a win. They remain, I believe, undefeated in Starladder. They are 4-0. Looks like they'll be headed to the playoffs almost certainly, unless they lose all of their games and everybody else below them performs well. But this knocks IG down a peg to 2-2. Still kind of on the cusp of maybe not being able to qualify if things don't go their way over the next few games. They're now tied with Fly Gaming, who won the first match, saying, guys, with that, we'll take a break, but we come back soon for more Starladder China action. Stay tuned. I'm LD. He's Blaze. We'll be back.